Greetings! It is I, Z Squared of the Magnet Knight channel. Here doing episode 17 of my Pokemon Scarlet playthrough. Last time we had a chilled episode where we fought against the snowboarder of a gym leader, Grusha. And now we're going to go down the other side of the mountain to face against Team Star once more. Velvet! Operation Starfall is going well, wouldn't you say? Only 2 bosses left now. This whole experience has been eye-opening, to say at least. I'm glad I could take part. But I'm curious, Velvet. What do you think of Cassiopeia? I don't know, they're a bag of riddles. Is that so? Personally, I don't think Cassiopeia feels any hate or resentment towards Team Star. No, there must be some other reason behind Operation Starfall. But what could it be? Well, I best get back to keeping watch. Call for me if you decide to take on the base, okay? I will return later when it's time for the young master's piano lesson. Until then, please give him my regards. Yes, Mr. Harrington. Hmm? And who might you be, young lady? A friend of the young master, perhaps? Young master? Ah, I see. Since you seem unaware, I must inform you that this is the base of Team Star's ferry crew, the Ruchba squad, led by young Master Ortega. Mr. Harrington, I don't think we're supposed to be giving that information. No? Then perhaps accept my apologies. Do you have any idea who this young lady might be? She no friend of ours. You know, I think she might be here to try and take us on. In that case, I take you're an adversary of the young master. I guess that follows. Is that so? Well then, that leaves me with one last thing to ask you. Huh? Would you be so kind and indulge me in a quick battle? Yes! Splendid. Let us begin. Ooh. coin gremlin. Go coin gremlin, go coin gremlin. Well, well. An outstanding performance. However, be aware that young Master Ortega battle prowess far surpass my poultry skills. You would do well to take care. Now, if you'll excuse me. Hasta Vista! That gentlemanly guy used to be the director of the academy, I think. At least that's what I heard. Now he's like tutoring the boss or something. He shows up here sometimes to take the boss to his lessons. Hang on, why am I explaining this to you? There's no doubting you're here to make trouble, so I gotta go and let everyone know. Hotslovy Star! Ra-ta-ta-ta. I see, the guard has been dealt with. Good job! The base belongs to Team Star's ferry crew, the Ruba squad. Their boss, Ortega, is the mechanic of the team. He may be the youngest of the bosses, but his battle skills are no joke. Underestimate him, and things will go south for you quickly. He's also a real lead from the back type. He gets his grunts to do all the dirty work for him. But his weak point is his short fuse. Get him good and angry, and he'll march out to the front lines to deal with you himself. In terms of tactics, there's nothing else for it but take them all the lackeys he sends your way. Just tough it out until Ortega shows up and go from there. Ring the bell on the gates once you're ready to kick off this phase of the operation. Time to wipe the Ruba squad off the map. Okay, let's get this started. Code Red, Operation Starfall Alert! Everyone get into position! Defend the boss with all you got! And rest assured, intruder will deal with you without the boss's help. Unless he can do the... yeah. Ah, yes. It's time for me to go through the fairy type and my favorite ones, Pokemon from said type. What can I say about fairy type? It was the last one to be added, so it's the newest type. But yet, it was long ago, that's no longer new. Like, literally, there are like some people who've been playing Pokemon and did not know that a Pokemon like Clefairy used to be normal type and not fairy type. And a lot of people and a lot of people believe that it's because of how powerful the dragon type was why the fairy type was added, which yeah, granted. And they range from cute little insect baboos to adorable looking psychopaths. So let's go through each generation to see which ones I like. Starting with the first few, there's going to be a similar things I'm going to say about them. So let's start with Gen 1, which I guess I can say Clefairy. Like in the Gen 1 games, I would always capture a Clefairy and keep it with me for a short bit. And so most of the time when I used Clefairy, it's back when it was normal type. Not that there's anything wrong with it, but it's cute. It's a fairy, and lately it's an actual fairy type. And Clefable's pretty decent. In Gen 2, there was Togepi because of the whole mystery egg thing that was given to you. And in my first playthrough of Scarlet, I used a Azumarill that I called as a Azrael. And I used that as my main water type, but seeing how it's also a fairy type, it became a pretty handy Pokemon, especially since it had a huge power. In Gen 3, like I said before, in my Ruby, every time I started a game in Ruby, I always make sure to nab a route either before or after the first Wally encounter. But uh, but that was back before the fairy type. But with the fairy type, the routes line became even that much better, and especially since during Gen 6 it got a Mega Evolution, which wow, a new type that did nothing but enhance it, and a form that made it even more powerful. Wow. And Gens 4 and 5, I didn't really use any Pokemon that got retroactively turned into fairies, uh, but I did uh, during the later use a Togekiss for like paraflinching, and Gen 6, the generation that added the type, the still new, but yet long enough it's no longer new. And and it's the generation with the most added fairy types. And it and they're and for the most part, I do like the Flabebe line or the slash Florges. They're just a pretty solid fairy type altogether. Even though it should be fairy grass. And I do like Swirlix and Spritzies. Not their evolution forms, but those forms warmed up a little bit where I don't completely hate them, but still prefer the stage 1 forms of Swirlix and Spritzy. And then, of course, because I played X, I am eventually get a Xerneas, and used it a few times because the Pokemon games gaslight players into using their box legendaries. And in Gen 7, I did use a Primarina, but it wasn't my starter. I just used the GTS to randomly trade Pokemon through mystery trade until, or wonder trade until I got all three of the starters. But Primarina isn't my favorite as far as the Gen 7 fairies. I gotta say, Cutie Fly and Rubombi, even though I didn't really use them in my Moon playthrough, I do like them and adore them. And Gen 8 had some pretty solid fairy types. Like there was three lines, sure, and a legendary, sure, but the three evolution lines were pretty solid. But if I had to choose one, it I gotta say it has to be uh, Hatteran, just for being a psychopath piloting a mech out of its own hair. And then here we are at Gen 9. Didn't really use the few fairies that they added, but in my original playthrough, outside of Azumarill. But this time around, I started picking up everyone's favorite rock chucking menace to society, Tinkaton, and Poppy is really growing on me, especially if you interact with, and especially if you pay attention to the thumbnails for my videos. I've been having fun with what I use as far as Tinkaton. uh, she does have her moments, and she it's very memeable. But the three fairy type paradox Pokemon do have their own uh, thing that makes them appealing, but I still prefer Tinkaton more. Well, anyways, that's also, I guess, my favorite fairy types is Tinkaton, Clefairy, and Gardevoir. I guess I'm okay with. But anyways, time for me to continue my way to beat a twink of Team Star. Uh, Time to get them before they go full on goblin. Our defenses are breached. It's all up to the boss now. Huh. Huh. So you're Velvet. Okay. Talk about underwhelming. I was expecting someone, I don't know, a little more beefed up. Well, whatever. I don't care who you are. Not like I'm going to lose you anyways. You're in for a nasty surprise. Haha. I promise I'll play nice, so don't blame me when the battle sends you bobbling home. Don't judge me. Mm. Okay, literally. I thought tackle was enough for the disrespect. Ha. What the heck? The team. Why is my team on the ropes? Oh, oh no ball. Alright, alright. I'm gonna go full long titan. Wait. Long titan. Yeah. Oh, you think you stand a chance? Yeah, confusion was cute and all, because you know the only thing that can stop the Long Titan is the Long Titan himself. Ugh, how could I lose? What the heck? About a year and a half ago. Ah, what the heck? Your toy car didn't budge an inch, huh? I told you it's not a toy. It's called the Starmobile. I was up all night building it. The problem is clearly that we're not giving enough juice. You designed this thing to be powered by two char cadets, but that's just too heavy. That's such a shame. I wanted to see looks on our bullies' faces when we got it moving. I'm sorry. I really thought it would work. Come, good fellow. 'Tis no occasion for melancholy. Why, to make such a remarkable contraption by thy own hand, genius. Thy name is Ortega. Yeah, well, there's no point in it doesn't work. Is there? Yeah, well, there's no point if it doesn't work, is there? If I knew all that effort would have zero payout, I would just ask Mother to buy a car for us. You see, that's why people don't take you seriously. You say stupid things, you know that? What? Mela, cool it, would ya? Yeah, but how about no? I mean, we even put this in the code for crying out loud. When we started Team Star, we swore to quit relying on our parents or bags of cash to fix our problems for us. Or did you forget? If that hunk of junk doesn't move, get it moving. If we're short on juice, just gotta crank up the power somehow. Doesn't just take a genius, man. That's easy enough to say, Melly. Do you have an actual plan? Yep, I'm going to train up my char cadet, and have them evolve, boost their firepower, and get the Starmobile moving. No sweat. But the hour of Operation Star is nigh at hand. Will you succeed in time? Oh, I'll get done. Melly, wait! You know, Melly shoots her mouth off an awful lot, but she means well. I know. God, this sucks. This sucks. I hate myself for losing, but I also can't get over how awesome you're in that battle. If any of us squad bosses are defeated, that means we have to step down. And going against our code would make me a traitor to the team. Gah, fine. Not like I have a choice anyways. So take this badge already. You better treat it with the respect it deserves. Commoners, am I right? If I'm not done yet, here's my favorite TM2. Feel free to marvel how awesome it is. And just so you know, you are the worst. Like, most annoying person ever. But I get it. You're super strong. And I'll admit that much. You even busted up my Starmobile. Young Master Ortega. Mr. Harrington! I guess it's time for my piano lesson, huh? As it happens, I just lost my boss title, so I'm all good to head home. A different matter brought me, there's someone who I like to meet, you to meet. He's a distant acquaintance of mine. Huh? The name's Clive. Okay, what's your business here? I want you to tell me something. If you're a son of a wealthy family and heir to a major apparel company, so why join a group like Team Star? What a question to ask someone you've just. What a question to ask someone you've just met. Well, the answer is the same as everyone else in the team. It's 'cause I was being bullied. So the academy really So the academy really did used to have an issue with bullying. Who would have guessed, right? The school is all rainbows and butterflies these days. Tch. And the bullies back then don't even go to the academy anymore. Why? What happened to them? As the as the former director of the academy, I believe I am the best position to answer that question. Mr. Harrington, about 18 months ago, the members of Team Stars confronted the students who used to bully them, and an altercation broke out between the groups. Though it did not escalate into a major incident, the altercation nevertheless caused a scandal of hetero unknown proportion. As a result of what occurred that day, the students who had perpetrated the bullying dropped out of the academy, one after another. But there aren't any records of that anywhere in the academy. No, I imagine not. My former deputy deleted all records of the incidents you see. What? Why would anyone do that? Just as I was puzzling over how best to deal with Team Star in the aftermath of the incident, a certain student came to see me. This student declared that they would take all the responsibility for the team's actions. In exchange, they requested that I exonerate the other students from any blame. Huh? No one told me that. I I accepted the request and agreed not to take disciplinary actions against Team Star. Then I assigned 18 months of overseas studies to the student who took responsibility for the team. A year and a half of studying abroad. This was not intended as a punishment. You understand. Team Stars were the victim, after all. I wanted the student to take some time to rest, so I had them return home to the Gala region under the pretext of overseas study. Around that time, however, the former deputy director took it upon himself to erase all traces of the incident from the academy servers. It appears his intent was to shield himself from any blame. So he tried to cover up the whole thing. That's terrible. After we discovered after we discovered what he had done, I dealt with him appropriately, of course. But the inability of myself and the rest of the teaching staff to prevent this terrible act also represented a grave blunder on our part. I accepted the blame that laid at my feet and resigned from my position as director. The rest of the teaching staff then joined me in handing in their notices. So that's why the current teachers were all brought in a year and a half ago. I understood my actions have caused you a great deal of trouble, but you have my sincere apologies. Hang on, Mr. Harrington. How come you suddenly decide to talk about this now? Young Master Ortega, Team Star cannot carry on in its current fashion. I merely wish to give you a chance to chart a better course. Well, there's no way I'm abandoning my friends and going to school without them. Not after we came this far. Your friends in Team Star. Your friends in Team Star must mean a great deal to you. Your friends in Team Star must mean a great deal to you. Isn't that obvious? It's because, they're my greatest treasure in the world. Ra-ta-ta-ta. Velvet, it's me. I take it Haga handed over his star badge to you then? I see. With its boss no longer around, the Ruba squad is as good as finished. You and Ortega. I'm sorry. We're almost done now. We're almost there now. Just one more boss left. Operation. The operation's been a huge success thanks to you, Velvet. And Clive also performed admirably, I suppose. I remember him saying that you're acquaintances. Have you known each other long? Uh, uh, um, um, um. Yeah, for a while now, totally. He's totally not the principal. Wink, wink. Well, he's clearly a reliable friend. He almost reminds me of going back in the day. Oh, well, he's clearly a reliable friend. He almost reminds me of the game back in the day. Which gang? As you know, Team Star was formed by a group of students who were being bullied at the school. Shortly after forming the team, these students and none of the other squad bosses themselves, confronted the bullies head on. The outcome was a astounding victory for Team Star, though You could hardly call it a contest. These bullies didn't even put up a fight. They all bolted from the battle first chance they got. Scared spitless of Team Star, the bullies then dropped out of school, one after the other. Team Star ended up the villains of the story. But that's neither here nor there. Forget I mentioned it. About your reward, I transferred some LP over to your phone as promised. Make use of those TMs. They should help you take down the last remaining boss. My supply unit rep will be along to give you your own bonus reward. Here I am. Gah! Stay in your Pokeball for once, will you? Ah! Sandwich. Wow, Team Star went through all that, huh? They just want the bullies to go away, but then they became the bad guys in everyone's eyes. What a joke. The students, the teachers, they're all so messed up. Even just one of them had been paying attention when everyone was getting bullied. They've been able to tell right away that Team Star wasn't the one in the wrong. But I guess the big boss was the one who urged everybody to face their bullies by knowing how messed up the academy is. What a massive idiot. Creating Team Star just hoping their plan would miraculously work out. I don't know about that. I'm sure of it. Well, it was your reward. The next boss is the very last one. We're counting on you, Velvet. Ah. I don't have a Pokemon that can ride on water, but I want to meet some lovely sea Pokemon. If you had a Pincurchin, would you be willing to trade for my Haunter? You okay with trading that Pincurchin? Yes. A Haunter. Haunter Tinks. Say what? After 10,000 years, we managed to get an NPC to trade us a Haunter that will evolve. Well, anyways, that'll do it for this time. Um, next thing for next time when we pick up will be the next or the final Titan fight. So that'll be fun. Then after that would be the final Team Star Raid. But anyways, next time I got something that'll be hopefully a perspective that'll make a new beginning or something different. But anyways, see you next time. And if I don't, you are Z Square.